Some comments about Nas that got a lot of people coming at you, man. But as a New York rapper, I want to ask you, do you feel like you get your respect?
Yeah, I definitely get my respect as a New York rapper. My name is Capo. Don't let the motherfucking internet fool you, my brother. You heard? I'm from New York.
Jim Jones just can't stop talking, and now the stories are catching up to him. From twisting Dipset history to flipping old situations, people are finally calling him out for the cap he's been spreading. The streets are fed up, the receipts are everywhere, and Jim's credibility is hanging on by the thinnest thread imaginable. At this point, it feels like every time Jim Jones speaks, he digs himself even deeper. A Harlem rapper once seen as one of the most solid voices in New York hip-hop is now getting called out non-stop for switching up details, rewriting moments, and trying to reshape the Dipset legacy like nobody remembers the truth.
The rock star look. Who came up with that? You or Joel's?
The rock and roll look, that's my look. That's my look. Joel's is my little brother. I started the whole aesthetic. Wasn't nobody dressing like rock stars at all. Nowhere near the game. It wasn't thinking about it. I created that whole style and implemented it into the hip hop culture. You dig? But yeah, I set the torch up for the rock star rap look. I've always been dressing like a white boy since high school. I've been wearing motorcycle jackets and shit like that since high school. I got a different style than most.
And I know Wayne, he started dressing like that.
Yeah, we gave it to Wayne. He came to Dipset school, was with us for a whole summer. He was with Wells for a whole summer. And naturally, his whole...
Fans are finally saying they've had enough. What makes it even wilder is that Jim's been doing interviews back to back, trying to repair his image, but every fresh comment ends up blowing up in his face even harder than the last. It all kicked off when Jim started making his podcast rounds again, talking confidently about how he was the one who built Dipset from the ground up. He claimed that without him, there wouldn't be any movement, no signature style, no Harlem energy taking over the world. But the internet doesn't forget, and fans instantly started pulling old clips, interviews, and straight up receipts that contradicted everything he just said. Videos even resurfaced of Cameron explaining how he put Jim on, and the reactions went crazy.
Mimi there. You heard? Like the Thriller in Manila. Let's sell it that way. You see how Beasley and Baby Bro just did the one-on-one? You heard? See how Beasley and Lance did? That's what I want. You heard? I want the one-up. I want smoke. I don't care about rankings, bro. I want smoke. I want smoke and I want money. You heard? A ranking never gave me $1 at all. When the ranking come with a check, then I'll be pressed about the ranking. But none of that shit come with a check.
Cameron gave him his first real exposure and even helped fund those early Dipset moves, so when Jim said, "I created Dipset," fans were quick to remind him, "Nah, bro, you joined Dipset." That one line alone had the internet lighting up, and honestly, it was just the start of the stories that have been making his reputation crumble. Jim's been telling different versions of the same story for years, whether he's talking about how Dipset split, who fell out with who, or who really pushed the movement forward. The details keep shifting every time he speaks, and the people who were actually there, like Cam and Mace, keep exposing him with clearer and more consistent stories every time. Just recently, Mace went on "It Is What It Is" and said Jim been lying on his name for years, but now people can finally see it for themselves. Fans went wild after that because deep down they knew it was true. Jim's been caught switching up narratives just to make himself look like the main boss of the crew. Even his old situations don't line up anymore.
Going around right now asking if it's Nas or Jim Jones.
What's the question?
Nas or Jim Jones?
I'm a Harlem nigga. I will never ever disrespect Nas, first and foremost. Jimmy, that's the bro. That's Uncle Jomo, but first and foremost, he need to sit his ass fuck.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones? Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Nas.
All right. Nas or Jim Jones? Is that a serious question?
Yes, it is.
Nas, bro.
All right.
Jim Jones is a clown.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Come on.
Is that a question?
Yo.
Is that a question?
Hey, yo.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Come
I
on.
ain't saying who.
Yo.
Nas.
Nas for the culture.
All right. Nas or Jim Jones?
Said Nas or Jim Jones? Oh, Nas.
Nas or Jim Jones?
Nas, I ain't gonna lie.
Let's go.
Fuck Jim Jones though.
All right.
One moment he's saying something about the Locks and their Verzuz battle, then a month later, he flips the whole story and claims he wasn't even taking it seriously. He'll talk like he and Mace are cool now, then throw shade at him the next time he sits down for an interview. It's like Jim can't decide if he wants to come off as the victim or the villain, and people are tired of the back and forth. The streets are tired of the back and forth too. Hip-hop fans used to respect Jim for his grind. He was never the top lyricist, but he showed up, stayed active, and kept pushing. But now, that same consistency turned into something else completely.
I mean, and keep in mind that I'm what I'm doing is for my era of music. You heard? It's a blessing that I'm still here and I'm still being able to be appreciated by the youth and the younger generation coming up. That's a super blessing right there. But when it comes to the people of my era, I want smoke. You dig? Whether they're active or inactive, I'm telling them, I want smoke. You heard? Don't care about no legendary status, none of that type of shit. None of that shit works on the street, bro. I want smoke in the booth. You heard? Who want that? Let's talk about that right now. Who want to meet me in the booth? You heard? You ain't even gotta come to the same studio. Let's be in the same building. You take A room, I take the B room. You heard? Just to make everybody feel comfortable. But I want smoke in the booth.
It turned into straight up delusion. Every few months, he pops up trying to defend himself from something new, and instead of looking confident, he comes off insecure and unsure. People are finally starting to see that Jim's biggest problem isn't Cam, Mace, or Jadakiss, it's his own mouth. Let's be real about it. Jim Jones's biggest downfall has always been his ego. Instead of letting his work speak for itself, he keeps trying to control the whole story around Dipset and his career, and it's finally catching up to him in a big way. One interview, he's bragging like he held Dipset together with his bare hands. And in the very next one, he's blaming everyone else for why things didn't go his way. Fans pointed out all these contradictions online, and Jim instantly got defensive, saying people were trying to twist his words. But the truth is, nobody's twisting anything. He just can't keep his story steady.
Being honest, right? And you looking back at your career, where will you rank yourself among New York rappers? Top 10, top 15, top 20?
Where did I rank myself? I don't care about top 10 ranks. I care about the money. You heard? And you talking about all these artists that came in after me. I came in after them, Rob, you heard? And I started as a hype man. And right now I am the hype man, as you can see all over the internet. Big difference, you heard? I'm talking about present day and what we're doing right now. I ain't worried about what's going on in the past. I don't worry about what you used to do or what you used to do. What can you do right now? You heard? And if you're not in it, you're not in it. You dig? But I'm in it wholeheartedly. And I wrap circles around anybody who beg to differ. Tell them meet me in the booth. That's all we got to talk about. There ain't no shot at no one in particular person. But yeah, you know what's up? I'm from that era. Engagement era. You heard?
A major turning point came when Maze and Cameron launched their show, It Is What It Is. They started casually dropping Dipset stories, and fans began connecting everything piece by piece. That's when people realized Jim wasn't the solid leader he always claimed to be. The math just wasn't adding up anymore. Mace even said, Jim talked like he was the general, but we all know who built the empire, and it wasn't him, and that one line shook the internet to the core. Fans flooded Twitter and TikTok with old clips of Jim calling himself the Capo, acting like he ran the whole crew. And if that wasn't enough, Jim slipped into another messy situation just weeks later. In a new interview, he tried to say he never had real tension with Jadakiss and Styles P, claiming the Verzuz battle was all friendly energy.
I mean, if we looking at the rappers from your era, it's not many left that's rapping at a high level.
All right, well, then yeah.
Jada, he's still here. He still got something left in the tank.
Jada,
Fab,
nice.
He's still spitting.
Fab is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's absolutely dumb nice. Like on another level. Niggas really listen to Fab music, that nigga go crazy. Like that nigga is, from a New York standpoint, shit like that. Like you dig? So every place have their own music, you heard? I'm just coming from a New York standpoint, a tri-state area standpoint. We got our own thing and our own bop out here that we all appreciate and shit like that, you know what I mean? So we appreciate our New York rappers because there's a certain sound, it's just that.
But everybody remembers how frustrated he was afterward, doing interview after interview saying Dipset didn't lose, even though the whole world watched that battle live and saw exactly how it played out. Jadakiss even joked about it later on the radio saying, "Don't rewrite history, bro. You know what happened." Fans were laughing because it was true. The revision wasn't fooling anyone. Then there's all the back and forth involving Maze. Jim keeps trying to act like their issues were small misunderstandings and that everything is cool now. But fans haven't forgotten the years he spent going on rants, calling Mace a fake pastor and throwing all types of shade about money. Now suddenly it's all love. Nah, people aren't buying that switch up at all. It's clear he's trying to polish his image after years of talking reckless, but even his own supporters are starting to walk away. The comments under his recent interviews are tough to read. People are saying things like, Jim been lying for so long, he forgot the truth. And honestly, with how many stories keep changing, a lot of fans feel like they're just watching a rerun every time he speaks.
What would you say to the people that say when Dipset was at their peak and it mattered most, you wasn't a good rapper? It was all about Cam and Joel's. They was the best rappers in the group.
Who cares about that? What the fuck did you talk about? That's what I don't understand. That makes no sense. At Dipset peak, he wasn't where he at right now. Well, shit, I'm where I'm at right now. I got better, you heard? Most people been in this game as long as I've been in the game and not here anymore. At all. They way gone. They can't compete, not on this level, at all. I can compete at the top level right now, period, against anybody, especially from my era group. I spank they boots. I don't care who you put in the booth with me. And I got the money to back it right now, tonight. That's the difference. Don't play no games. Tell them bring 100 tonight, whoever it is. They're not gonna come, bro. They know I'm vicious. I'm not one to play with when it comes to doing music at all.
Jim really thinks he can gaslight the entire culture, like nobody remembers anything. When the same audience you built your whole career on stops believing you, that's when the game shifts fast. And this isn't even about hating on Jim, it's about accountability. He's been in the industry for more than 2 decades, and you'd think by now he'd just own his story. But every time he tries to talk like he's smarter than the truth, he ends up making himself look like the real issue. That's exactly why fans are checking out, because the man who once stood for Harlem's realness now sounds like he's living in some kind of fantasy version of the past. The switch up is wild, and people aren't letting it slide anymore. The saddest part? Jim Jones could have gone down as a Harlem legend without a single doubt. He had the longevity, the drive, the hustle, the energy, everything he needed to be stamped forever. But over time, that hunger for extra validation started chipping away at the authenticity people once loved about him. Instead of being proud of the lane he actually carved out, he wanted to be seen as the mastermind behind everything. But the problem is simple. The people who were there, Cam, Mace, and even industry vets like Fat Joe, keep reminding everyone who really put in the work. And when the people who helped build the foundation speak up, the truth hits different. Let's talk about those it is what it is moments for a minute. Mace and Cam have this running joke where they lightly clown Jim every few episodes. Nothing malicious, just straight facts. They call him out for switching up stories, and fans eat it up because they know it's real. When Mace said Jim's like that dude who copies your homework but still gets it wrong, the internet went crazy. It was hilarious, but it also hit a nerve because every time Jim tries to force himself into conversations about Dipset history, it never feels natural.
Feeling that, you know what I mean, that we get from certain rappers and things like that. And Fab is one of them, Jada is one of them, Fat Joe is one of them. Whenever JB jumping back out, he one of them, like you dig, like. But some of these people lost their rhythm and they cadence, you dig? Like they still stuck where they was at, you heard? And people be getting confused, like, I ain't even gonna get into it. But like I said, I want smoke. Only way to shut me up is to shut me up. Show me I'm bugging.
You think you can go bar for bar with Jada, Fab, or Jay-Z?
I go to bar with anyone. With anyone. You heard? There ain't no beating around the bush. I've been saying it, bro. I want smoke in the booth. You heard? That's the only way to settle this one. We all can put out dope freestyles. We all can put out dope music. I want smoke in the booth.
And it's not just the old situations. Jim's been acting like he's still the main face of Harlem rap right now, talking about how he influenced the newer wave of artists. But here's the truth. The young generation isn't checking for him like that. They respect what he did in the past, but they're not quoting him, they're not studying his flow, and they're not moving based on what he's doing now. When you've got artists like a Boogie, Fivio Foreign, and Dave East carrying the new Harlem sound, Jim ends up looking out of touch, trying to stay in conversations he isn't leading anymore. Instead of evolving gracefully, he keeps chasing quick moments, viral interviews, attention-grabbing comments, fake controversies, anything that keeps his name trending for a week. And because of that, the whole thing starts feeling forced. He even tried going at Pusha T last year, calling him overrated and saying he didn't have hits for New York. But fans instantly turned it around, reminding him how Pusha already dismantled Drake, something Jim could never dream of doing to anyone on that level. The internet wasn't having it, and Jim ended up looking even more out of sync with the culture. It turned into another full internet roast session, with people saying Jim just picks random fights to stay relevant, and honestly, they're not wrong. Jim's whole brand used to stand on loyalty and Harlem pride, but now it feels built on excuses, switches, and contradictions. Every time he tries to clap back at critics, it only confirms what everyone already sees clear as day. He doesn't take accountability, and that's exactly why fans are stepping back. Realness is rare in this game, and somewhere along the way, Jim drifted from his own roots, trying to keep up a polished image that doesn't match the truth anymore. At this point, the writing's on the wall. Jim Jones is losing the one thing that truly made him who he is, the people's respect. He still tries to move like the Capo of Harlem, but when your stories don't line up and your peers keep bringing the truth to light, that title doesn't carry the same weight anymore. Even his recent attempts to play peacemaker between Dipset members fell flat because nobody trusts his version of what happened. Too many details got switched, too many old interviews contradict each other, and too many people from the original circle keep stepping in to correct the record. It's gotten to the point where it feels like Jim is talking just to talk and nobody's taking him serious anymore. You can see it all over the reactions online. The same fans who once cheered for him are now calling him out in real time. Clips from his interviews get reposted with captions like, "This man lying again," or "Didn't he say something different last month?" He's become his own meme, not because people dislike him, but because he keeps spinning stories that nobody believes. And the sad part? It didn't have to go this direction. Jim Jones could have evolved into a respected elder statesman in hip-hop. The type of dude who drops wisdom, supports the younger generation, and lifts Harlem the right way. But instead, he doubled down on the same ego-driven habits that have been chasing him since the early Dipset days. You can't demand respect while reshaping your own past. The streets remember too much. Even Cameron, who's been keeping things cool and neutral lately, couldn't resist throwing a subtle jab on air saying, "Some people been lying so long they think it's the truth." Fans knew exactly who he meant, and when Mace laughed and added, "That's Capo behavior," it was a wrap. That clip spread across the internet instantly because everybody knew exactly what they were hinting at. Jim Jones got exposed again. And this time, it happened right on the platform where he thought he could control the story. The moment hit different because it showed the whole culture something real. This isn't even about beef anymore. It's about legacy. The same Harlem that once lifted him up is now looking at him sideways, waiting for the day he finally keeps it fully honest. Fans are officially done with Jim Jones at this point. They've seen the switches, the backtracking, the contradictions, and the tough talk that doesn't match the facts. What's left now is a man who built his whole name on loyalty, but slowly lost that loyalty to pride. And in hip-hop, you can rebuild momentum, you can rebuild attention, but once you lose credibility, that's the real end of the line. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more real stories just like this. Share the video with someone who follows the culture, and I'll see you in the next one.